How's everyone doing today? Let me know if the audio is coming through fine. I see we have a few people already in chat here. So, Gleb, John, Martin, Dan, Darth, Alan, how's it going? Let's see. Bridger, thank you for that info too, Bridger. So the new stuff that they've added in today, the Advanced R&D stuff, has the same or drops from a variety of queues. Hold on, let me get this pulled up so I can just explain this a bit better. So they added onto the blog that there's different maps that you have to do to get the different components, and it seems that those all correlate over to the existing R&D drop pool, where you would get like the plectin, the Trellium K, and all that. So there's quite a bit of work going on from people to get this all figured out, to figure out, what is dropping from where. And the STO wiki right now has a really good breakdown on this all, so I'm going to pull that up as soon as I can find the page here. Advanced consoles. So the crafting materials are going to drop from the R&D boxes that you get from elite TFOs, and there's 4 different consoles, and you need parts from these different pieces of content in order to get the specific parts you're looking for. So for those of us wanting the really nice engineering consoles that they're coming out with, we want to get the same R&D boxes that would reward Argonite and Plectin, which means that the TFOs that you would need to spam to get the pieces for those engineering consoles would be Into the Hive, Minor Instabilities, Peril over Pavo, Dreadnought Gauntlet, and then Borg Disconnected, Counterpoint, Gateway to Grethor, and Vicious Cycle. I'll include a link to this in the YouTube chat here. But if you're looking to actually grind elite content, then these are the specific queues that you're going to need to look at for each of the different pieces. And also, yes, the pet one is only dropping items from Vault Ensnared and Herald Sphere Elite. So have fun with that. Let me see everything in chat here quick. Looking forward to playing with those consoles. Sadly, all they do is boost weapon damage. Yeah. I think they'll be pretty interesting. I don't know what the numbers are going to look like, but I suspect that the meta is going to be changing, and it's going to take a little bit of time for everything to settle and for us to figure out what exactly is, going to be the new meta. Now, the actual things drop from the Elite Q R&D material packages, so the market has basically been clean to these since the patch went up. If you have some of these in your bank, you can either open them to try and get some of these components, or you can take advantage of the market and sell the boxes up on the exchange. So I'm going to open a couple of these now. And you see I got an advanced science fragment from that one, and 2 of the battery superconducting loops. Now the weekend bonus box does not drop any of these from what I've seen so far. And it's, it's a 50-50 chance on you getting specific things. It looks like the battery ones do drop quite often, but I think the other ones are not as, yeah, it's a bit random there. Yeah, had I known that these things were just going to drop from the elite crafting boxes like that, or the elite R&D boxes, I would have just hung on to all of them I had. Okay, I'm gonna put the parts that I have so far into my bank so I can move them over to my main character. And I need to get the Titan. I don't know how much I'm gonna do with the Titan today. I probably won't even be using it. too much right now because I'm probably going to be doing some elite content today on the stream, and I just am not really feeling like setting it up fully. So probably just look at the components today and then like actually set it up and build it out probably this weekend. Boss, Mac, Charlie, Cartsy, how's it going? Corey, the drop rate's the exact same during or after. You can buy them off the exchange, and also the new components do drop from the C store promo R&D packs. So there, if you open these Infinity Promotion R&D packs, they drop these new components. Drawn, how's it going? Axel? And to those of you that have teams that can play elite content, you should be able to go in and farm these resources and should be able to make a decent profit off of everything. Let's see. Yeah. The mod pool for these new consoles is sort of crazy. So Bridger just sent me a picture. There are a lot of possible modifiers on these new consoles. So you can see all of them that you can get on any of the new advanced engineering or science consoles. So, like I said in the video I did the other day, if you want to put phaser damage on these, you can do that, and the damage boost will match what you would see on a traditional attack console. On average, it's going to be about 10 elite TFOs to get the parts to make one console. Alternatively, you can buy them Infinity promo R&D packs and get quite a few that way. I am going to just cycle through a couple characters real quick because I want to see if I can, or if I have any of those elite TFO boxes on any other characters. So I'm just going to put in elite here. Nothing there. Nothing. People are going to be hitting the fleet banks to see if anyone's put any of those elite TFO boxes in them. A good idea, too. Forever re-rolling, yeah. Steven, how's it going? I did see your comment asking about weapon power, and to be honest, I'm probably going to need to do a bit of a refresher myself before I do a video on that, but that is something I'd like to look at, and I imagine STO Better is going to have some math put out for that sooner rather than later. Let's see. I'm gonna hit fleet banks. I'm gonna see if there's any elite Q boxes in any of these fleet banks that I can go and grab. Here. Yeah, I don't usually do the math stuff too much myself. I usually just leave that up to like the Stow Better folks because they've been working on the math side of things for ages. Yeah, the ship I was in, the spirally one, was the Sulban Cell ship. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's a few trilliums. Do I have any in the bank? So basically, every single box is dropping the battery components. It's just the the actual parts to make the console are not dropping that well. Is there anything in this fleet bank? Just thinking what other characters might have some of these things. Let me break my chat out here. Andos, how's it going? Don't use comp engines with the you eat it across the map. Oof. Okay, so this character, I don't know if there's anything in the bank here, so I'll go check. There, what I'm looking for is the Elite TFO boxes because those are dropping the new components. So I'm seeing if I have any of those like stored in a bank that I can go and grab. Well, the thing is, Steven, um, the idea right now is that you would run a full set of these engineering consoles, and then in your TAC consoles, you would run like the Lorca and then those Bellum consoles from the Discovery reputation. Those Bellum consoles, those still give you a crit chance. It's not as good as the others, but where are these elite boxes at? None here either. Terrible. And there's also the colony consoles. Like I was showing the colony consoles um recently, and I think that those are, I think those are really good in the current meta. Let me respond to a message real quick. If you guys have any questions, things you want to ask, then feel free to drop them in real quick. Yeah, that Gorn character I have is a bit beefy. Absolutely. Have I ever done a super shuttle build? No. No. I don't really do shuttle content that much. I was never a big fan of it, and there just really wasn't, there's never been that much shuttle content. They did have a shuttle race map that they were working on a couple years back, but from what I understand, they basically just opted to not utilize it. They put work into it, but they did not go through and actually utilize it. The colony consoles won't be getting the advanced tag? No, not that I'm aware of. Do I think the new advanced consoles would be powerful enough to replace certain universal and set consoles? Absolutely. In fact, I have a couple pictures here now that I can show. Thank you, Bridger, for sending me these. So here is the new pet console. Now, if you're on something like the promotional Discovery Constitution or the promotional Disco D7 Miracle Worker Flight Deck carrier, you could run 7 of these on those ships. And what this does is it's going to give your pets up to 200% Cat 2 for their torpedo weapons per console. So if you have 7 of these on, you could be buffing the torpedo damage on your pets by 1400%, along with, buffing their weapon and power by quite a bit. And I think Jonathan said on the stream that the hanger pets don't actually have weapon power drain. So when your pets fire their weapons, they don't lose power like you would. So like this could be a fairly substantial boost. I mean, if you're running 8 of these, or not 8, if you're running 7, you're giving your pets a massive massive boost there for their damage output. They were talking about how they were getting 3 to 400k DPS from some hanger pets on some of the builds they were testing. So this looks like it's going to be quite crazy for pets. Rob, how's it going? OP pets carriers finally good. Yeah, if you can get your hands on these new pet consoles. Now, one of the things I need to just, get out there is that people are going to go crazy for this new stuff. People are going to be going crazy for it. And as with any other new thing that comes into Stowe, the more patient you can be, the cheaper it's going to be for you. Everything, eventually gets cheaper over time. And when it comes to C-Store purchases, there's always going to be a sale later on down the line. So if you're really wanting these for your pets, just wait a little bit and they'll come down in price. Now, for the other engineering one, I don't have pictures of the science ones for now, but I don't think those are really going to be that relevant to most people for right now. And the engineering ones seem to be the big thing right now. The other engineering one is going to very much be a Spire pack console competitor. You're trading off the crit chance, and this Ox power, this can be re-rolled over to a phaser damage boost, which will match, what the tack consoles give. So this console, you're replacing the crit chance or severity that you get with the Spire console for 7.3 weapon power, and then plus 7.3 max weapon power. And if you're on something like, say, the Inquiry, you can have 7 of these on. And 7 times 7.3, add that on to the current max of 125. If you have 7 of these on, your weapons are at 176 power, and that's before you have a core that gives you another, 5, or before you hit OSS, which gets you, a temporary boost of up to like 50 power, another 50 power. So these consoles could be quite good. It's just for this one, I think it's going to need to be mathed out to see how it competes versus Spires. And for the pet one, I think it's pretty clear that's going to be insanely potent for hanger pets. Does pet boost increase agony redistributor? Probably not. I don't think agony redistributor is gonna ever be like good again, to be honest. Yeah, yes, Rob. What's considered a really good hanger pet to run? STO Better has a tier list for hanger pets. Just note that if you're looking to actually run hanger pets, it's a pretty hard requirement that you have superior area denial, which is a trait off of the Mirror Strike Wing Escort, which is available as part of the 12th anniversary bundle. And the reason SAD is pretty much required is because it gives your pets fire at will or scatter volley, and that it has a really nice interaction with the pulse cannons that exist on some of the fighter squadrons out there. So hanger pets, Still Better has a hanger pet tier list here, and I'll include a link to this in the YouTube chat. So check that out if you're looking to see, what pets are going to be best for your situation. They're looking at just base damage, damage under SAD, coordinated assault, I think this one is, and a couple other things. So check that link out if you're interested to see, what pets do best. I've got a few more messages here. Oh, you do have the science consoles? Thank you. Thank you, Bridger. Let me show these real quick. Okay. So the science consoles, we have energy field, gradient projector. This is the one that interacts with drain. And I think we're going to have to wait for testing to see just how impactful a full set of these is. But if you have a bunch of these on, you could be getting quite a bit of hole penetration from the effect it has, especially if you're getting lots of kills and you have multiple of these consoles on. But it's really going to be a question as to how impactful the shield drain is here and how impactful the shield heal is. So that one's going to require testing from people, which may take a couple weeks given how hard it's going to be to get some of these things. So just wait and we'll see how that ends up, being in the future. And the other science console here is the exotic particle amplifier one. This scales based on your EPG skill, and you can have multiple of these on just like any of the other advanced consoles. So this will give you a damage boost for your bridge officer ability, exotic abilities, and the non-bridge officer exotic damage abilities. So like your clicky consoles. So that one, we'll have to see how it looks on a build that has 250 EPG, but I don't know if this one's going to really impact the EPG meta too much because those types of builds have so many universal consoles. There's a picture here of the advanced kinetic battery. So 30% bonus projectile damage and then plus 5% crit severity. That only affects that only impacts projectile weapons. Let me respond to messages here. There's also quite a bit of discussion going on over in the builds Discord. So if you guys are over there, I did set up a new crafting channel recently, and there is quite a bit of discussion going on in there regarding the new items. So it's under the mechanics section on the builds Discord. And it's the crafting channel here. Now that should be good for now. Thank you, Bridger. I appreciate it. Do the batteries also need the special mats? Yes. Yeah, but they are they have a really good drop rate compared to everything else. Like Bridger went and opened 160 of the R&D promo packs when the patch went live, and Bridger got like 2,000 of them. And every elite TFO box or elite Q like R&D box that I've opened so far has dropped multiple of them. So the drop rate seems to be pretty high right now for the battery devices, or the battery things, that is. Okay. I've had a few questions about the some of the Titan accessories. Like I said, I'm probably not going to set the Titan up today, but I do want to at least look at like the phasers on it and see how those stack up. Let's see. Yeah. Hans, indeed. This stuff should all generate more activity and elite content, and should be a nice boost to that part of the game, and should also give players that can do elite content a new way to play the game and acquire resources, because people that can do elite content can now farm this content and they could sell those parts to get EC. Titan A and title. Okay. You need level 10 for the batteries, and the consoles are unlocked right away. The science ones will be great for console players. We can't take advantage of the clicky universal as easy. Gotcha. What a name. We're leaving that. We are leaving that name right there. What a perfect name. USS Cruiser. I mean, it's a pretty generic ship, so I mean, it's accurate. Yeah, so if you're trying to craft the components, it's under special projects, but the actual new consoles are under like engineering and science. Perfect name for such a generic ship. It's perfect. I need to grab a T6X token. Okay, where's my unbound or my bound ones? There we go. Greg, how's it going? Overload at will with the new phaser beams. Keep in mind too that these new phasers you can literally only equip 2 of them, so it's not like you can even do a full set. You're stuck to just 2 of them. Okay, USS Cruiser, get that upgraded. And protect. Time to upgrade these, and they get a free upgrade to Mark 12. And let's just ultimate upgrade them. I don't feel like messing around with that. And I'm going to need the lithium to re-roll these, so give me just a minute. Cells in. I'm going to put this up at 500 and let's do 5.5. Okay, I've got the only Zen that's like available instantly there. That should go fast. The thing with advanced beam, like those advanced beams, is that if you're running those, you're gonna full commit to them. Because the advanced beams that you get from the Discovery Connie and the Discovery D7, the thing with them is that the crit chance or the crit severity they give you on the proc scales up with how many of them you run. So if you're running those, you really need to be committing to running, 5 or 6 of them. The effect skit like it stops after 6 of the beams are on your ship. So if you're going for advanced disruptors or phaser beam arrays, you're not going to care about these because you need to fully commit to those weapons. But if you are not wanting to run the advanced phasers or disruptors, then these new beams might be interesting. I didn't cover the over modifier because honestly, it's absolute garbage from the last time I used it. I know it would be better for me to have numbers to give as an example for why it sucks, but that might be something I look at in the future. Why can't I re-roll the crit H? So this just has a fixed crit H mod. That's interesting. It's an interesting choice. Okay, I've got my lithium here. Yeah, and the Maelstrom also didn't have a lithium cost either, which is good. Yeah. So the thing with these narrow angle beam arrays is that they have a 210-degree arc versus the traditional 250-degree arc that phasers have. So they're meant to be in between your normal beam arrays and your dual beam banks. Yeah. There we go. I don't know why it won't let me re-roll that crit H mod though. That's a bit annoying. Oh, perfect. Okay, that one went right away. Okay, I am going to go up to space and start setting this up. Stargate, how's it going? Jeez. Game Freaks, if you're listening, good catch. I'm not surprised that people are not understanding the new advanced R&D components and are opening the R&D packs and putting them up dirt cheap. Doesn't surprise me at all. Okay. The first thing you should ever do when you set up a ship is you take your weapon power, you hit the weapon preset, or you drag your weapon power up. I had someone comment recently saying that I needed to have shield power up on my ship, and it hurt me to know that there's people that think that. Shield power, basically worthless in the current state of the game. All your shield power is doing for you is helping your shield regen and is it like shield resilience, I think? I don't really remember, but it just isn't really that valuable. Okay, I'm gonna run these two new phasers. If I can find them here. I'm gonna put the Maelstrom on up front. I'm gonna do advanced inhibiting. Actually, I'll do the Trilithium Omni. Trilithium Omni is sensor linked one. And then for my other two aft weapons, I'm just gonna go with some crafted pen phasers. Because those are perfectly fine. For my deflector engine core shield, I'm going to go with the basically like standard meta route right now, which is fleet colony deflector, the competitive reputation engines because they give you a speed boost when you hit firing modes, and then the discovery rep, warp core, and shields because those have a really nice two-piece that gives you quite a bit of hull regen. The pen modifier is perfectly fine. I know I forgot to clarify that it does fall behind damage or crit D once you hit a debuff level of about 140% in your run, but realistically, most people are not hitting that. I don't have any of the new engineering consoles, so for right now, I'm just going to use some of my fleet consoles here. And I'm just going to go with exploiters. And yes, I happen to have like 10 phaser vulnerability exploiters. That is because I bought a set, forgot I bought it, and then went and bought another set. It happens. For the consoles here, just going to do some phaser boosting stuff. So got the immolating phaser lance on from the Damos. The Excelsior's experimental power redirection, that's that phaser beam array everywhere console. Then for the others, I'm just going to go fairly basic today. I'm not going to mess around with haste too much. I'm going to go reinforce armaments, and I'll do the next console here alongside the DPRM. Yes, the likes are appreciated for sure. Lots of messages on the Discords today. Jeez. Pay to win? Yes. And remember too, if you guys have been waiting for the for that Enterprise F skin to drop, that is now in the game, so make sure to go and put that on your Odyssey class ships if you have been waiting for it. I'm going to save this loadout before I do anything else because I feel like if I don't, it's going to just randomly disappear. Elite queues. Beam overload. I can do beam overload if that's what you guys want. But fall would probably be more applicable here, wouldn't it? I mean, it's beam overload. Beam overload is beam overload. Once you see one beam overload ship, you've literally seen them all. That's one of the things that sucks about like doing ship builds, is that everyone just wants to see beam overload on every ship, and it's like it's the exact same thing. What, you know, the way beam overload is on one ship is how it's going to be on others. Once you see one beam overload build, literally the same on everything else. Let me see how I want to do this here. Shockwave is going to troll CSV users, probably. I'm going to set this up as a science. What side do I have on? I see I'm getting lots of comments right now. I'll take a look here in a moment. Let me just finish setting this up. 0 side 1, pilot. I'm going to do fly her apart too, because fly her apart is a really good damage buff right now. I'm going to do clean getaway because that's really good unconventional systems proc. And then I'm going to do jam targeting. And then over here, I'm going to do scramble sensors. Okay. ERL, I believe, is technically better than beam overload. I'm going to save this. I'm going to turn all the beams to auto fire. Now here's the dilemma. If I do fire at will, there's no good way to really extend the uptime on it. My best options would be... My best option would probably be to go in and do entwined tactical matrices. But the issue with ETM is that you have to use a torpedo with it that has a low cooldown. And the Maelstrom, you know, it's got a 30-second cooldown. So that doesn't really work with that. There is also redirecting arrays that I could potentially do here. But to be honest, that's not really that great either. So if I want to do fall on this, I'm probably just going to have to give up the Maelstrom, which is going to be a pretty substantial DPS loss, because that Torp is really good. Redirecting, I don't even have redirecting unlocked right now, so I'm just going to go with the wide angle quantum off the Sovereign. It's not great, but it'll let me do fire at will. That's part of the issue with fire at will, is that fire at will doesn't have a really good extension route, and because of that, it really sucks to build a fire at will ship, because you don't have the ability to use many of the things that you would on other ships. Just going to drag some of this stuff around, and of course the Titan here does have a like an innate battle cloak, so some people are happy about that, some people are not happy about that. I don't really care, personally. My issue with battle cloaks is that half the time you want to decloak and you get like stuck in it, which just ends up being quite irritating. Okay, where's evasive? Any thoughts on the Enterprising Innovation set? That's the... Is that like the wide arc phase cannons? The phase cannons are good, but the rest of the set... I mean, it's fine, but it's not something I would go out of my way to pick up, personally. I'm fighting. Intel fleet. Chemo here. Fire at will is going to go first on the tray. My torp spread is going to be manually timed, because when I hit torp spread, it's going to give me a fire at will 1. So Basically, as soon as I see my fire will go away, I have to hit the torp spread. Mixed armament should be triggered by the torpedo on this thing. Might not be perfect uptime, but it'll be good enough. Just bear with me. You guys know how this goes. Setting up the trays on your new ship is always a slow process. Undoubtedly, I'm going to forget something that I'll remember the moment that I get into a map. That's pretty much how it goes. Save. Okay, it's going well. Gonna do a few elite TFOs together? Yeah. Yeah, I'll be doing a few elite TFOs. I probably won't be using the Titan for them, just because I do not have much faith in this build. The Titan, though, I mean, it's not that terrible looking. I know it's not everyone's thing, but I don't think it's that bad. I feel like this ship will be a lot better performance-wise once I can get some of those engineering consoles, but until then, probably just gonna be gonna go in, do an elite wanted, and get this leveled up now. Yeah, the ground elite TFOs are generally quite easy. They have a much lower barrier to entry, so if you want to start grinding elite content, then the ground is very much the optimal side for you to start on. It's much more efficient. Discord messages. Let me see what's going on. Very nice, Game Freaks. Game Freaks already has one of the engineering consoles. Let me pull this up to just show you, again, that you can actually get the phaser mod on it and have the same damage buff as your Spire consoles would give, or you can, put Disruptor, Polaron, Plasma, whatever you want on them. So quite interesting in that, like I've said, I think it's going to really shake up the meta, but the people are just going to have to be patient with it because it's going to take time for people to get full sets of these things and to actually be able to test them. So don't expect to have results of, this is the new meta right away. It takes time for things to be tested and figured out. This is on elite difficulty, yeah. Nice target. Yeah, it was a pretty big patch today, so could be interesting. Yeah, I'll ditch it.
Possibly consistent with mold holes, temporary hideout.
That's the sensor linked on me. It definitely is a little bit immersion breaking, isn't it?
We do what we want, where we want. tight beam transmission on a new frequency. We're jamming that spectrum of their comms now, but it was probably a call for assistance. I'm taking you with me. Captain got it. Excellent work. We'll send over a pacification party and take the suspect.
Did I have my... Okay, I did have the combat log on. Good. I'll take a look at chat here in a second. I mean, it was okay. It was about 2.5 minute Argala. It's not the fastest, but... Gaming Stuka? Yeah, it should. The consoles are account bound. Or wait, no, they're character bound. Oh, rip. That sucks. I thought they would be account bound like the other crafted consoles, but apparently they are character bound on equip. So these are going to be a bit more expensive for those of you that are looking to get a full set of them. That's sort of unfortunate. Yeah, Infamous, that's something I would like to cover. I think there's a lot of lobby items that haven't particularly aged that well. That could certainly use a bit of a updated discussion. Yeah, there's already people selling some of these new consoles, like in the trading channel. There's one for 95 mil. Yes, that's expensive, but just wait. Like I was saying before, in STO, patience is a very important factor. The more patient you can be about things, the better it's going to be for you when you're going to buy it. Look at all these ship bundles they release. The first week of the ship bundle coming out, it'll be like 20% off. And then a week later, how many times recently have they done like a 25 or 30% sale or a 35% sale on some of the new bundles like a week after they were released when they were on an intro discount, and then a weekend they do a bundle sale that has a better discount. Yeah, and it'll continue to drop. Like that's the thing. These consoles are the supply is only going to continue increasing over time. Like if you want them day one, you're going to pay that day one premium. But if you're patient, you can get these new engineering and science consoles much cheaper over time. And even 30 mil for a console, like that's not that bad. This is a seller's market, absolutely. Never allow doubt to tarnish your lust for Latinum. Terrible. I should also mention that they have indeed lowered the price of the promotional packs in the C store. And this is a permanent cost reduction. So the packs have been reduced to 250 Zen per. They used to be 300. And there's a 20% sale on top of that, meaning that you can get a 4-pack for 640 Zen. So basically $6.40 gets you 4 of the Infinity promo packs for the R&D or the DOF variants. And if you're looking to get some of these new crafting materials, the Infinity promotion R&D packs do drop the components needed to make these new consoles. So there is a way that you can just pay in and get these things if you're really that impatient. John, I don't know. I'm gonna drop UD off this build because I'm not really getting much out of the Phaser Lance. So I'm gonna put the trait from the ship on. Because I did just unlock that. I've already forgotten the name of the trait. I'm gonna have to look up. Mastery. Thunder Run, okay. Let's see. Best TFO event campaign, I think Jupiter Eratus is probably your best option. I'm gonna drop the immolating phaser lance for now also. And I'm gonna put another crafted pen phaser on because that sensor linked Omni is definitely a little bit annoying. Oh, let me stop so you can see the ship here. What else do I want to put on? Three anti-proton damage constants so far. Nice. You can complete the event campaign in 2 events if you buy them out. But if you don't want to buy it out, then you can complete it in 3 to 4. I don't have an agony omni. I do have an over omni, but I really don't think over is that good. I'd rather just have the extra 10. Yeah, I can do that. Let me just drop this for, I guess, Domino. It is on Foss, so maybe I'll get something out of Domino. So here it is, and I do have render scale 2 on right now, so this should be like 8K. It looks good. I know I should just sit still here so you guys can look at it. Let me look at it from like this angle. Zoom out just a smidge. There we go. Yeah, I'll be completing mine this event. Because of the Voth event extension. Yeah. So you guys look at the ship. I'm gonna just take a look here at some of the messages I'm getting. Okay. I don't have a ton of Vandy shields. I imagine other CCs will go through and look at it, the Vandy shields a bit more, but like I've got, I don't like to be perfectly honest with you guys. I just generally don't care too much about Vandy shields. So I just never bother spending the resources on them. Here's the Lucari reputation one. I mean, this looks neat. That blue line right down the spine of the ship looks cool. The underside has a little bit of blue glow also. This is the Lucari Vandy shield from the Lucari reputation. But outside of that, like, I've got Terran one. Doesn't look, it's not really my thing. I've got the space camo one from the Safe Galaxy refit. For those of you that want to have space camo. I don't even have slime devils on this character. Yeah. I'd say, wait for other CCs to put out videos where they show off the vanity shields. I imagine someone will. But I just don't really do the vanity stuff that much personally, so just not something I can really cover that in depth. Does the game have a pity system? Yeah. Yeah, it's per character. So this was data mined like several years ago. It is per character and it's per box type. So for lockboxes, the pity system works per lockbox. For the Infinity packs, the Infinity promo packs, I don't know if those are separate between the Dolphin R&D packs, but based on the openings I've done, I don't think that they're separated for the promos. But for lockboxes, they definitely are. I have a video going over all of that. It should be like the drop rates revealed video or something like that. So check that out if you're to see what the pity system is like. Yeah, there's a pity system for promo boxes. Phoenix probably has one also, but I do not know what it is. Oh, there's 9 minutes left on the Looming Threats event. I didn't even realize. Oh, I gotta get two more of these. Let's try this. Let's see if I can go in and get a Jupiter Gauntlet done twice over real quick. Yeah, it's why people say to just open on one character. Because if you open like 50 boxes on one character and then 50 on another, you're splitting your pity. Like you're making it more expensive for yourself. Yeah, the Legendary Galax is still a good ship. Okay, let's set the render scale down to 1.
Excellent work. We'll
Triz would be disappointed. Triz is always disappointed. Yeah, the monetization scheme sucks. Oh, am I not out of the 20-hour period? Oh no. I didn't even notice. I saw the 8 minutes and was excited thinking I'd get a little bit extra to lithium. Good catch. I failed. Oh, rip. Yeah, the Legendary Galax is still good. Just opened a T6 Infinity as a KDF tac. I would go for the Gorn. I have been getting incredibly good results from the Gorn Raider, from the experimental weapon off of it and the trait. I posted a parse last night in my Discord where I had really impressive numbers from those items on that, or from that ship. I was using the legendary Valdor, but from complex plasma fire, I got 133k damage, or 133k DPS, and then from the experimental weapon on the Gorn, I got 124k DPS. Like, I know I need to talk about that ship in a proper review. I've been waiting for them to fix the trait and all that, but I do think that the Gorn experimental weapon's probably one of the best, if not the best, experimental weapon in the game. And the trade-off of that does actually make plasma competitive with phaser or disruptors in content where things live long enough. Let's see. I plan on getting the Section 31 Dreadnought. Any build type recommendations? Just look up the Legendary Galax. I gave that ship a very negative review when it first came out. The the Section 31, that is, because it's basically a direct copy of the legendary Galax that you get in the C-store. So you're spending $200 for a reskinned legendary Galax that's going to be for a single character. That's why I gave that ship such negative, such a negative review. Let me actually show that side by side compared to the legendary Galax also. Compare. Let's take a look here. So, legendary. And you said it's the Section 31 Dreadnought? I mean, there's a couple minor differences, but like you can see, they're fairly similar. I got, like I said, I got a bit of blowback when I reviewed the Section 31 negatively, but I just think that Legendary Galax is so close to it. It's a 4-4 version of the Legendary Galax, basically, that has a built-in battle cloak. Let's see. Brilliant Blade, how's it going? 2 Infinity R&D boxes, just got 1 promo pack. Nice, congrats. What TFO am I going to do for the featured event? Probably just do Jupiter Eratus. I think Jupiter Eratus is probably just going to be the most simple one to do. I don't know if... Did they include the higher difficulty versions of like, Org Disconnected? The included phasers limited to 2. Yes. So I did not actually take a look at those. So these phaser narrow angle beam arrays have a 210 degree arc versus the traditional 250 degree arc that you would see on a beam array. And for some reason, the crit H modifier is fixed. You can't re-roll it. So I imagine that's probably just a bug. So if we compare this side by side against a normal beam, let me get the picture of this here. Let's go 3-second delay. Okay, so all this other crap is because of stuff on my build, but let's compare this to a normal, like a crafted beam here. It doesn't even actually beat one of my normal phaser beams. What? So it's not actually, or no, it does. I'm looking at the wrong number. It does. I was looking at the 1670 and I looked at the 1792 here and was like, wait, what? But it is actually a little bit ahead. Okay. MF, how's it going? Alan? Ronnie? Well, if someone got scammed in the trade window, I don't want to sound like a dick, but that's like user error. There's so many different fail safes in place in that trade window. You have to really screw up in order for like to get scammed in the trade window. You have to literally click the button to give the person the EC while they have nothing in the trade window, and then you have to then confirm that transaction. Yeah, that legendary Valdor, such a great ship. Yeah, and Caitlin, I'm not trying to be too negative. If you want to go for the Section 31, that's, go for it if that's what you're wanting. I just want to make sure, that is very similar to that legendary ship. How does the new crafting work? Just materials? Yeah, it's basically just materials. The devices require level 10 in a crafting school. The consoles themselves can be crafted at level 0. How does it compare with a dual beam bank? 90 degree? Yeah, let me put one on. So, yeah, it's about halfway between a beam array and a dual beam bank. I do not have any advanced consoles yet. I'm going to work on it, but I'm not expecting to have a full set for a little bit. All the messages. Yeah, so apparently the person that got scanned in the trading channel, they didn't have the person add the full amount of EC to the trade window. That's user error. That, like I don't want to sound like a dick about that, but you can put in 2 billion EC into a trade window. It's just that people don't know how. You put in the first 1.5 and then you type in the like 2 or 400 million after that and you hit the add button again. You can literally put 2 billion in the trade window. Yeah, there's special materials, and if you look at the builds Discord in the crafting channel that I set up under mechanics, there's a lot of discussion about what drops from where. It's basically the same setup as where like you would get Plectin or Trellium K or things like that. The components for the new batteries are in promo packs, the promo R&D packs, or they are a drop from Elite TFOs. So in the crafting window, just to show, the components are crafted under special projects, and these will require some of the fragments or the pieces. And if you want to actually craft one of these consoles, you just go into like the engineering school or the science school, and you would go to the advanced consoles there up at the top, and you'd be able to craft them. So that's what the Mark IIs look like. And yeah, you can craft this at Mark II, which is what you should do. Like if you craft this at Mark 12, you're just wasting resources. It's just cheaper to go for Mark II and upgrade from there. Drastically cheaper. So just only ever bother crafting Mark II of these. The phasers are orange. I haven't verified that yet. I'm going to put the wide angle back on. And I did not look at the parse to see if they are separated from the others. So let me check that quick. Jupiter Eratus. No, I literally just got the trait. Yeah, I upgraded it to T6X, so it's a Miracle Worker ship, so it had one right off the bat, and then it got a second universal slot once I did the T6X upgrade. That's the same as any other Miracle Worker ship. The narrow phaser beams do not appear to have a separate listing on the parse here, so they just show up as normal phasers. I'll also include a link to this. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, those cooldowns are unfortunate, Bridger. Advanced R&D. So if you are looking to play elite content to grind out some of the materials here, the wiki does have a breakdown on which queues are going to drop the components for which console. So if you want to go through and get the parts for these engineering consoles, then you would need to go into the same queues that you would go into for argonite gas or plectin if you wanted the engineering ones that give you plus power. The Connie 3 build, yeah, I can show it. It's nothing too special. I just set up a basic fire at will build, basically. You know, like I said right at the beginning, make sure to, on any ship where you're using energy weapons, make sure your weapon power is set to the maximum. The other power settings do not really do much for you. I've had a few comments recently talking about why don't I use more shield power? And it's because shield power is basically worthless. In this game, you kill things before they kill you. If you are investing heavily into defenses to try and survive, then you probably want to look at increasing your damage output to kill them rather than trying to make yourself more defensive, because at the end of the day, everything in this game is needing to die, so you gotta take out the enemy. And trying to make yourself a turtle is not productive to the current game, the current design of the game. Are the new narrow beams worth using on a full beam array build? I would say so. They're a little bit ahead of other beams, but it's basically right between beam arrays and dual beam banks. But the issue is you can only equip 2 of these, and they're a character unlock. So if you want these on every character, you would have to go through and, you know, get the ship on whatever character you want these things on. I think it's better for most people just to stick to what they're running for beam arrays. Okay, I'm going to do an Jupiter Eratus public queue. This is one of the queues for the new event. So I'm going to go in Jupiter Eratus public queue, and I'm going in now. Should a tank build run shields? Nope. Tanks are DPS builds. Tanks are DPS builds that have survivability incorporated. Plus, there are things in the game that will give you healing buffs, or like some of the heal buffs out there will scale based on your damage output. And when we're looking at shields specifically, if you look at the shield absorptive frequency generator off of the Valdor, this is probably the best shield heal that exists in the entire game, and it scales the shield heal it gives you based on your damage output. Yeah. If I'm looking at a tank for general play, it best be doing a couple 100k. Like, if I see a tank doing under 100k, it's not having much battle impact. You can make a build that is extremely survivable that can still do hundreds and hundreds of thousands of DPS. And it's required for, like, generating threat. Yeah, that's another thing too, is this game heavily leans more towards hull healing. And like hull tanking.
Activate the hollow projectors. Let's hope they get the job done. Defend the hollow projectors as best you can.
But like on the topic of survivability, those of you that saw my stream last week, I think, saw that I was working on a survivability video. And just to demonstrate the point that like anything can tank on any like captain type, I set up a Terran Eagle pilot raider on attack captain and then did a solo Hive with it. Without using Exodus, without using any placates, just straight up like whole tanking through it, just to demonstrate that you don't have to be an engineer to have survivability. In fact, the idea that engineers are the top tank choice is actually incorrect when you get to endgame. Tactical and science captains make for the best tanks at endgame content. But I just wanted to, showing that a lot of the conceptions people have about survivability in this game are outdated. They're based on ideas from like 13 years ago.
Need to get those rifts under control.
Engineering does legitimately have a couple of good uses right now. Like, they're great on ground. Like, they just slam on ground with those mines. But in space, it's definitely, to me, it's a very valid idea that their heals are sort of like, I hate to say it, but like the wording people will say about the engineer heals is that they're sort of a noob trap because they're really good when you're leveling up, but when you actually get to endgame and you start to get those heal abilities like the Valdor console on your ship and the colony tac consoles, the engineering heals become basically worthless.
Hostiles on the station. They're breaching our systems.
They do have a power buff, and that does stack with the new stuff, so like they'll be really good for the power buff side of things, but the survivability, not really. I'm just gonna sit at alpha, and as soon as things pop up, I'll take them out here. Yeah, engineer could use a buff, absolutely. I think they could use a buff for like threat generation. That'd probably help them out a little bit. Because the part of the issue with threat gen in this game is that it scales based on your damage output, which is why tacs can be better tanks, is because they can draw more threat. They can do more damage and irritate the enemies more.
Now they're ours for good.
You still here, Grandma? Ugh, not ours. Speaking of, did you like some of the backstory?
Enterprise is left near projector base.
I looked at the tooltips of them, but I don't have any to actually use myself yet. Oh, it's still here.
You
I
know
thought.
what? I'm done here.
Should be the end of the TFO.
The Enterprise is near projector camp. Take them out first.
Have fun now. You know what? I'm
Well
done.
done. We sent the Terrans home with a message.
Yeah. Good job, everyone. Nice bit of marks there, and some event campaign progress. Yeah, side captains also have some nice tools now. Yeah, the consoles will fall down in price over time. But, a month or two from now, they're going to be so widespread that that's not even going to be a concern. It's just that people just have to be patient. Like, if you're really wanting some of these new pet consoles, then just wait. Literally just wait. Watcher Bridge Officers, yeah. Well, the Safe Galaxy Lockbox is no longer the currently active lockbox. So the supply has definitely dried up just a little bit compared to where they were. Let's see. Invite to TTC. Yeah, Game Freaks, give me a sec. If anyone else needs an invite to the trading channel, drop your @ handle in and I will get an invite out. And invites out. Sent. I would go for Viridian if you're looking for plasma. The thing with ultimate is that if you have the ultimate Omni, that's a guaranteed ultimate proc when you crit. So if you have that, you don't really need other ultimate weapons. I would go for Viridian because they have a haste proc on them. The haste proc isn't likely to happen, but Alan, you're already in there. Yeah, you're already in the trade channel. Yeah, they put a really long lockout. That they talked about that a week ago though, so that's not news. They put a fairly long lockout on all that. Did not follow STO stuff. They talked about it on Reddit. I think I might have talked about it. I don't remember if I talked about it in a video or if I talked about it in on like the last stream I did. I don't remember. Let's see. Vice, thank you for the membership. Very much appreciated. New idea for TFO. You could ban one ship at your point. Oh no. I'm not a fan of the concept of the jellyfish to this day. Again, thank you, Vice, for that membership. Very much appreciated. Let's see what else is going on here. I think, okay, I've got a few other people to invite. Invites out. STO chat system, wonderful as always. How big is the Connie 3? Someone bring a Galaxy over to New ROM. Let me beam down and back up. Just TFOs, but they also do drop from Infinity R&D promo packs. I mean, it's compared to the Galaxy, it's not that big. The Advanced Shield Drain console is completely bugged. Are you surprised? I don't think there's been a release in this game this year that hasn't been bugged. Like, it's, you know, it just, things don't launch in the most polished state. Is there a channel for elite runs? The DPS channels. That's sort of one of the primary points for the DPS channels is to help people organize and get into elite content. You know, get pre-made teams together for doing like elite TFOs. Clearly the Enterprise Shay is a bigger ship. What are my thoughts on the new advanced consoles? The science ones do seem sort of mediocre, but the engineering ones look like they should probably impact the meta quite a bit. It's just going to be a matter of time of people mathing them out to see how they compete versus existing options. And the Hanger Pet one, clearly, you know, there's nothing competing against that right now. So I take it you need to run, say, what rank of DPS? So for elites, for like DPS elites, this requires you to do 150,000 DPS in ISA, ISE, or HSE. The reason that the DPS requirement is 150k is because in the majority of elite content, each player to hold their own weight needs to be doing 100 to 150k. So having it at 150k there is giving a bit of buffer, you know, and making sure that everyone in there should be capable of being in that content. Because it's not fun going into elite content and having people doing like 10, 20k DPS, because that means that other people have to go over and help with their part of the map and things like that. Wouldn't having the team DPS buff help? Well, the thing is, there's a lot of instances. Let's say Corfez. If you get the Benthan phase, you know, there's basically 5 different lanes, and everyone needs to be able to go in and cover their part of the map. So you don't really have room for people to be bringing in like a dedicated nanny or a dedicated buffer. Like, everyone needs to just be doing damage. Like, but that's why in this game, you know, the majority of focus goes towards DPS, because at the end of the day, for the content this game has, that is all that matters. How easy is it to get to that level with Mark 14 gear? Gear helps, but the big thing is you. The big thing is, how do you pilot your ship? How do you activate abilities? You know, if you're on PC, I would say to download one of the various parsers and start measuring your performance. You know, go into ISAs and see what your DPS is. Things like that. Yeah, exactly. Hit the spacebar. Like, if you don't have, you know, there's a couple things you need to do to increase your DPS. You know, make sure your weapon power is up. Max out your weapon power. Make sure you're running a keybind of some sort so that you have a constant rotation of bridge officer abilities. There's just lots of different things you can do. With a pure pet build, yeah, but that's been done. That's not even a question of is that doable. It's more of that's already been done. I think it was what, 5, 6, 7 years ago. The Metals admins went and did a Hive Space Elite with just their recluse pets, basically. Yeah, as a built-in cloak, yeah. I haven't really used the cloak, and I also really have not used the console yet. The console just really has such niche use cases. Like, I'm having issues figuring out where I'd want to activate the thing, you know? Yeah. Okay, so let's do what do we want to do here? Let's do an infected elite. I don't have any survivability on this ship, so if someone wants to bring a tank, that would be greatly appreciated. But I'm gonna go public queue. Public queue infected space elite. And it immediately popped. That is concerning. We're gonna see how things go. Yeah, the thing with SAT is too is that you can get SAT on account-wide unlock. It's just you have to get the 12th bundle. Map transfer errors left and right. I mean, I have no survivability on this build, so I probably am going to die. If I should have brought that Terran Eagle, that's what I should have done. That thing can solo easily, but this. Oh no, there's an Adarian in here. I hate this ship with a passion. Such a terrible ship. Someone's not happy.
Scanning the nanite trace. Done. Deploying that domain.
Server performance is good today too, isn't it? That was a slow start, and I see our Nadarian is sitting stationary there, going to do nothing. And apparently there's a Spirit Stealth start. This is a rough one. You guys want to know why random elite TFOs are literally never going to happen? It's because the player base can't be trusted to do elite content. It's poor servers. Like I'm bouncing back and forth.
You will become one with the Borg.
For reference, the TFO is bugged. It's literally not going to complete. The TFO is bugged. The things were unshielded at the left side when I went over there, and there was still a sphere alive at the start. So I am taking an abandon penalty for that because the queue is bugged and will not complete. Yeah, everyone was fine DPS wise, but it was still a bit of a slog. Um, okay, so that is my ability to do TFOs for the next 30 minutes on this character done. Jellyfish mode benefits from max weapon power, right? I do not remember. I am currently using the STO combat meter. The website you download this from does look a bit rough. I'm not gonna lie. So let me put that link in chat here. If you're wanting to download SCM, the website to do so is stodps.com/scmafq. The page looks a bit rough, but I do host this page, so I host the page, and then the Dropbox link that you click on those pages there, those are in my Dropbox. There are other DPS parsers out there. There's a dozen of them. But if you're wanting to upload to the DPS tables to get invites to the DPS channel, then you want to use SCM if you want to get into the numbers channels. And if you're looking to get into the other DPS league, then you would want to go and use CLR or CAT. Also, look at that. 13 million DPS is the current record for Infected Elite. Thaleron OP. Yeah, I think SCM's visual layout is nice. The Hilbert stuff was a bit different. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I used Hilbert. No, there's no random elites, and there probably never will be. They pretty much laughed at the idea on the 10 forward stream the other day. Yeah, the 13 million DPS is because of Thaleron. So Thaleron is on the it's the scimitar, the T5 scimitar 3-piece console set, and basically in that Thaleron run, they grouped up everything in front of the gate, and the person hit Thaleron, and that was it. You know, there's a lot of coordination in those types of runs. So to just note that those are the type of runs you're going to see at the top of the DPS tables. Is you're going to see these really highly coordinated Thaleron runs, which are just super far ahead of everything else. Just a moment. I just respond to someone here. Thaleron, terrible. Terrible indeed. Oh no, the Titan, it's fun, but if I'm gonna go through and do elite content right now, I'm probably gonna swap ships. Just because I want something that's got a bit more flexibility for doing a bit more in the TFO if needed. Especially if I'm doing randoms, or not randoms, but just public queues. Something with a bit more firepower, I think, might be beneficial. See the BOF layout? Yeah. I just went with this for now. I mean, it's been possible to get more than 130 weapon power for a very long time. But the new engineering consoles are going to allow you to go much further up. Terrible. Okay. Ranger. Terrible. So I'm going to look at the list for what drops from what queue again here. I appear to have way too many Firefox windows open. So for the engineering consoles for the plus max weapon power, you can do Borg disconnected, counterpoint, gateway to Grethor, or vicious cycle on elite. Or for the ground side, you can do into the Hive, minor instabilities, peril over Pavo, or Dreadnought Gauntlet. And those are, I mean, there's some space keys there. Let's do a Hive ground elite. I haven't done one of those in a while. If you guys want to join for a Hive ground elite, let's get 4 people in here. This is a ground TFO against the Borg. Just bring a ground setup in. I'm gonna go commando, and I'll just leave intel on. Mr. Deep's an old boy. Alan, you want in? Two more slots, terabit. And Ranger, okay. That's the lobby. Yeah, we'll be doing more. And I've got the Tommy gun, and what else do I have here? Oh, the Magellan staff. I got that. I got to use it, right? Okay, into the Hive Elite. Here we go. You can open Infinity promo R&D packs to get the materials, or you can just wait for people to buy them off the or to post them on the exchange, which will probably happen quite a bit here with everyone opening the R&D packs for, you know, to try and get promo ships right now. I did hit the start button. It just is taking a while to load. Yeah. Not happy about the cost of that. I still think that's a bit of a joke. And now it's time to wait.
You have penetrated to the heart of you.
Time to go through briefing phase. I think you guys know how to do this one. You just kill Borg. There's a couple interactions, but it's pretty straightforward. Photon grenade bot. Terrible. Can't you reclaim it, or do you not have it on your event tab?
Sweep this room quickly and you'll catch the Borg off guard.
So activate each of these pillars and then kill the Borg. Also, don't stand in the squares that are lighting up, because they'll just die to the electrical stuff they do.
The Borg are reacting. They are awakening reinforcements.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of questions there that are going to take time to figure out, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know what Yumi consoles people are going to drop. But I just know that people are going to be dropping consoles. There's another pillar somewhere, if someone could find it.
Force field between a central plexus and collective core is down. Gather there. We are detecting an energy buildup in the area around the.
Yeah, I mean, I think the haste meta, I don't think that many people are, using all the haste stuff anyways. I mean, obviously, like, in ISA, it gets used, but I think a lot of the haste things, being that they require manual activation, they just don't always see a ton of use. Yeah, you can just stack them with, like, the colony consoles also. For survivability, that's definitely going to be a good route. The pink icon, that is a pet summon apparently. Okay, just be careful, don't get caught in the thing.
The Borg are reacting to the virus upload. Reinforcements inbound.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I haven't heard anything about the colony consoles also having that restriction. Jonathan talked about Strike Group Command Authority on the 10 Forward stream and said he just learned about it this week and that I think he said he's fixed it, but it's not live yet. So that is going to be fixed, it's just going to be a little bit. Did we upload the thingy?
The Borg are in chaos. The time has come. Attack the Queen.
I said that there's no restriction, that's good. Now we got to go through and kill the queen. I know I could just kill this guy with the ball lightning, but I don't remember if there's other things I need to take care of here. It looks like the science consoles are both not that great, so it's really just down to the engineering consoles for what's going to be worth it. Disable force field. So we have to hit the thing back here. Watch out for the floor. You don't. If you go in a green area, it'll burn you. Oh, like that. That's what it'll do to you. I don't have that device to respawn me either. The Hollow Beverly Bridge Officer will not impact the Torp meta probably at all. So don't worry about it too much. The reason it won't have much of an impact is because it has a 45-second lockout on how often it can give you a high yield. So the question is then, is it worth dropping, you know, an SRO or a watcher for a torpedo high yield every 45 seconds? Bridger did send me a picture of the bridge officer too. So let me. So it's a mini version of Photonic Officer. For 5 seconds. I just, unfortunately, the numbers and the cooldowns that the Hollow Beverly Bridge Officer has, I just don't foresee us, you know, wanting to drop what we have right now. I just do not think it would be worth it at all. Unfortunately. Yeah, 45-second lockout and then 30-second lockout on the cooldown reduction. So the materials have a chance to drop from these Elite Q packs. So these things, if you have any in a bank, start popping them open or sell them right now so you can get some EC. I did not get one out of that. So that is the other thing, is the drop rate is not guaranteed. No. The lockouts ruin it. Absolutely. Terrible. Host a flat Earth versus globe Earth stream? That sounds like a terrible idea. You got one? Yeah, so it's a 50-50. And it looks like most of us rolled to not get one. Okay, what other options do we have here? So again, the entire list of what drops from where is on the wiki already. And I'll include a link to this in the chat, but if you're wanting to know what components drop from what queue, then this be the answer. When you're looking at trending on Twitter, keep in mind that it's going to it's tailoring the trending to you and your what you typically look at. So just keep that in mind. If I look at Twitter, actually I completely have the trending tab like blocked on my browser, so I can't even look at it. I see some of these messages I'm getting. Lyle, if you're listening, then yeah, I'm good to go. Send the stuff over and I'll take a look at it later. Nice. Pop chat back open. Gateway to Grethor, please. What does that qualify for? That's the Argonite. Yeah, I can do a gateway to Grethor, but I am swapping ships. I like the Titan, you know, it's neat, but it's not a performer. And I think we all knew that before I even popped it open. If I'm doing elite content, I need something with more firepower. I'm gonna swap to the Eagle. Like I said in the stats breakdown, the Titan, I think the Titan is it's cool, but it just is not $200 cool. Like it just it's being beat by you know, it's being beat by some of the C-store cruisers we have, like the Lexington. Okay, gateway to Grethor. I need 4 people for this. I know Alan, you want in. So I need 3 more. And I am getting just flooded with messages right now on Discord and elsewhere, so let me just take a look at these off screen here. All the messages. Okay. So, Ranger, you want in. Axel. I think that might be full. Make sure you're not in the TFO group right now. The new consoles are rerollable, yes. I think that's yeah, we're gonna be cycling through a lot here. John, I'll get you in on the next one. So we're doing Gateway to Grethor here on Elite. Ranger will get you back in on the next one. Okay, I'm taking us in. I think they'll, I mean, it's just forcing us to do different content. And there's going to be a flood of these things from people opening the promo packs. Yeah, John, I'll get you. Don't worry. Yeah, the Titan, like they're selling it for $200 purely on the fact that it is a hero ship. It is in no way worth $200. No, I do not have an in-game chat channel directly for the stream. However, I do run the DPS numbered channels, and I'll be sending out another batch of invites for Elites and Prime here soon. So if people are wanting to get in to be able to do Elite runs with, coordinated teams, then make sure to go in, get like a 150k parse uploaded to SCM from ISA, and I'll get that invite sent out later. I'm gonna go right. We have to split up here, so some people do go left, please. I didn't even realize. I've got so many different messages going on right now. I'm sorry. I've got chat going on. I've got 5 different people messaging me on Discord. It's just hard to follow everything.
Those gateways are emitting
That is too. Here. Please, no.
Shipyard beginning their run to the planet. Shipyards, transports are beginning their run to the planet. Shipyards, transports are beginning their run to the planet.
Yeah, Viridian Plasma is really great.
Shipyards, transports are beginning their run to the planet. Shipyards, transports are beginning their run to the planet.
Protomatter field projector off the Lucari ship in the Phoenix store. The reason it's so good for healing is because it's the best NPC heal in the game. It's an AoE, and when you look at the amount of HP that a lot of the NPC ships have, especially the larger things that you're defending, it just does so much healing. Like, you look at Starbase 1 and it's got 10 million HP. You activate the Protomatter field projector on it, that thing just... It basically heals up instantly. Because the whole regen is scaling based on its hold capacity.
Shipyards, transports are beginning their run to the planet.
We gotta get another 4 through or we fail this in the next 90 seconds.
Shipyards, transports are beginning their run to the planet. Shipyards, transports are beginning their run to the planet.
Yeah, we got it. Okay. Meet up for the boss.
And
I don't think we're gonna one-shot the boss, but Should be interesting.
Herald ships are attacking the Starbase.
There we go. John, that's my bad. You asked for the queue and then I didn't bring you in.
Our troops have landed.
Sorry about that.
From Kronos.
Like I said, just a lot going on in all the chats. The Lucari console, the Protomatter field projector. It's off the Lucari Hokun in the Epic Phoenix store. It's got an AoE heal on it, so it's really good for keeping NPCs alive. Let's see. Holy buffs, yeah. I mean, if you want to do well in this game, you're going to be cycling rotations. You're going to be keeping your abilities up. You go into pugs and you see people have like no abilities up or like 5, and you're just not going to perform well in this game if you don't use your abilities. I did parse that, but we were super far away, so. MC Stu has a guide up, John, but tell you what, I'll send you an invite to Elite, so you can go in there to try and, you know, join some Elite runs also. I hate this chat window. This game. 13 years in and the chat system still is buggy. Okay. Let me know if you got a thing out of the queue box there. Got nothing again. I got nothing also. So I'm 0 for 2 so far. Yeah, the summer event starts at the end of the month. They're announcing the ship on the next 10 forward. They already said. You got a fragment? Okay. Let's get the next one formed up. I'll figure out what queue to do here shortly. John, I know I need to include you. Alan, you said this is your last one, right? Ranger, I know I missed you. Who else did I miss? Blackfire, drop your @handle in chat so I can get you an invite. Blackfire, okay. How do I get so many buffs? Just keep your, like, use your bridge officer abilities. Okay, so that should be. Let's see. I'm pretty sure, Alan, you said that last one was your last one, so I'm going to kick you out of this TFO group. Yeah, you said last round. Okay. Yep, see you around. What are my thoughts on the advanced consoles and how they were implemented? I think the advanced engineering consoles look like they are potentially going to shake the meta up, but it's going to take some time to see the impact. For how we have to get the pieces, I think it's a bit tedious, but I think it's creating a new gameplay loop for some people. It's gonna, get a bit more activity in some queues. I'm not happy, about the specific queues that you have to play to get some of the components. But it diversifies things quite a bit. So the big one that I think is going to be an issue for people is probably like Vault Ensnared and Herald Sphere on Elite, which are, the only two queues you can do to potentially get the Hangarcraft power transmission thing. That's going to be a bit rough. Do we want to do like a Vault Ensnared or Herald Sphere, or John, what queue do you want to do here? You called the last one and I didn't invite you, so why don't you pick what we're doing here? Preferably a space one. Not to mention the RNG. Can't wait to see this on console, as hardly anyone plays TFOs. Yeah, I think it's going to be brutal on console from what I've been hearing. You're pretty much going to be entirely reliant on console to have people going in and gambling, opening the promo R&D packs to get these. Fifth TFO failed. John, do you have any preference? That isn't Gateway to Grethor now that I'm on cooldown. Okay. That one for carrier buff? Okay, so let's do a Herald Sphere. Herald Sphere. There we go. Herald Sphere Elite. Yeah. I hit the button. We're just waiting. Oh, Herald Sphere. I mean, it's Herald Sphere and Vault Ensnared. For getting these hanger pieces. So I think I would be fine with them being a chance drop from Advanced if it was a guaranteed drop from Elite, but you also got like more than one. Like you were guaranteed one in Elite, and then you had a chance to get like another 1 to 2. Like if there was some RNG to it, that'd be fine, and then a chance to get it from Advanced.
The gateway network gives the
Terrible Ranger.
Herald forces inbound.
I mean, if you have a good team, like all of these elite TFOs are easily completable. It's just getting the teams together. Which on console sounds like that's certainly going to be a massive issue.
Stop the Herald forces before they reach the gateway. Gateway opening at 10 o'clock. Gateway opening at 4 o'clock. Gateway opening at 5 o'clock. Gateway opening at 6 o'clock. Gateway opening at 12 o'clock. Gateway opening at 6 o'clock. Gateway opening at 5 o'clock. Gateway opening at 12 o'clock. Gateway opening at 11 o'clock. Gateway opening at 5 o'clock. Gateway opening at 8 o'clock. Gateway opening at 4 o'clock. Gateway opening at 1 o'clock. Gateway opening at 8 o'clock.
This feels like my weapons are stuttering so much today. So much more than normal.
Gateway opening at 3 o'clock. We need to stop the Herald attack on Allied space. Get through that gateway.
Oh yeah, the temporal agent stuff did start today too. Yeah, definitely remember to take advantage of that if you've been waiting for that. I wonder if they fix this. It used to be if you kill these things too fast, just stop spawning them in. I wonder if it's still doing that. I mean, we're about to find out. Things are basically instantly popping. I'm just thinking back to when this stuff came out and like this used to be like super challenging. I'm just thinking if we could have seen what the power creep would lead to in this game, would have blown our minds. Can the Connie 3 use the VR smart set? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and we did indeed kill everything fast enough that it stopped spawning in. Now we get to prepare to go up against the boss. That is notorious for like dying right away.
Energy levels in the sphere are rising. Check it out.
I have to find which of the 500 windows has my...
Sensor reading shows that the ship is controlling the gateway. Destroy it! The ship is drawing power from the gateways. You need to
All of that, and it's 78 marks.
destroy it.
What, like, the rewards on some of this elite stuff is such a joke. Truly such a joke. Let me see what I'm getting spammed with now. Let's see. Messages. Pop chat back up because that's now fallen behind the other windows. Who got a piece out of that? That's for the boss phase. It split it apart because of how much time there was between the other segments. The rewards from Elite just, yeah, they never have been that great. But I mean, they're trying to make it better, you know, with this stuff. Trying to give us a reason to play this content, but yeah, at least you get plenty of the batteries. So for the overall thing, we probably were split apart a little bit, so the DPS in there probably is not the most accurate. I got one. Advanced Engineering Fragment, Subspace Communication Power Piece. I finally got one. Feels real nice to finish a hard elite TFO, only to get screwed over by RNG. Yeah. I think it might be beneficial for them to just make this a guaranteed drop from elite TFOs, and then make it a very small chance from advanced. Make it like a 5 or 10% chance. Yeah, the Infinity R&D boxes drop them quite a bit. Like if I go and I go buy, let's say I buy some, okay, never mind. The backlog's back for now, but if I were to go and buy some of these R&D promos that are in the store right now, you get 3 to 4 of those fragments or a full core potentially in the box. You opened 12 Infinity R&D and didn't get a single one. John, I had you at 32k or 32.8. That's not the best queue to measure your DPS in though. Let's do an ISC, John. John, let's get you an ISC so you can see where your deeps is actually at, because that's not really the map to be measuring in. Everyone here good to go for an IS? Yeah, let's cycle Ranger. You've been in a few of these if you don't mind sitting out on this one. Let me get Alpha back in. Okay, goodbye, Ranger. I just cheated you out. Alpha, you had just messaged me before, right? Axel, you're done? Okay. Okay, I'll bring Ranger back in. Unfortunate. I like leaving Ranger out. Admiral X. Yeah, let me just kick Ranger again and get you in. Okay, I'll leave Ranger in. Admiral X will get you in on the next one, okay? I'm gonna take us in. I assume everyone's ready. Okay, here we go. Infected Elite.
The situation is...
I think any Infinity R&D should have a chance on them.
Scanning the nanite trench. Gun.
It's like, why can't I not fire? Because I cloaked. Yep, there we go. Let me take a look at chat.
Confirm that the
Second promo box, the pest is still PMing you.
However, our scans of the starbase are still being
Can't find anyone with a neocon yet.
to send an away team there to look for survivors.
Yeah. The drop rate on some of them is not great from what Bridger was showing me earlier. Okay, so DPS wise, let me pull this up. You got an advanced battery? Yeah, let me see if I got one. Did I get anything out of this box? I did. I got the advanced science fragment. Man, those science consoles are going to be dirt cheap because they're dropping from infected. The good ones are dropping from the less popular queues. That was not great. Okay, DPS parse. Let me pull this up on screen. Okay, analyze. Alpha, you were top at 708k. I was second at 652. Ranger, I've got you at 413. Blackfire, 199.9. And John, I've got you at 53.8. Let me upload that, see if that's a record for anyone. Alpha, that's an upload for you. And John, that's an upload for you. If you use the DPS channels, you know that's one of the things that they were always intended for, was so that you could get in with a team of like-minded, competent players to do, you know, the elite content. But like going in, I would not do the public system because you're going to have a lot of players trying to queue for elite that are not built for that or built for that. Yeah, John, I'd say post your build in the builds Discord, linked in the description down below, and we can take a look at it, see what's going on, and give you some tips there. Let me see what your damage sources were. John. So I see you're mixing overload, so you've got beams on with overload, and then you've got cannons. I would say to just focus on one thing. Focus on beams or cannons, but not both. The builds Discord is linked in the description right below this video, or this stream. It's the builds Discord that you'll want to click on there, and you can just put pictures of your build in, and people can give you advice, or you can look at some of the existing builds that people have posted to get an idea on what other people are doing. If you are using Windows, you can just use snipping tool. So, like for me on Windows, if I want to take a picture of something, I just use snipping tool. And if I want to take a picture of a build, just hit new, and then drag over the area that I want to take a picture of, and then you can just paste that into Discord. Okay, gonna do one more TFO here. On I know I need to get some people in, so Ranger, let's kick you out on this one. Alpha, you want out. Let's cycle. Let's get a couple different people in just to make sure people have a chance. Warp Core, you want in? Yeah, Warp Core join. It'll be a surprise. Yeah, there's tons of different programs you can use for taking a quick screenshot, but I'd say snipping tool, it's baked right into Windows. It's baked right into Windows, works perfectly fine. I'm gonna swap ships. I'm gonna bring in a bit more DPS. This is gonna have to be my last one for right now too. Unfortunately, I'm gonna need to bail out after this stream. Yeah, let's Darkness, let me drop you out on this one, just so we can cycle, get other people in and involved here. Okay. Yeah, let's do a vault. Yeah, a vault doesn't need that much survivability. I should be fine with this. Yeah, this is a bit more of a glass cannon, but it should have a bit more firepower. Okay, let's do a vault. Vault ensnared elite. This is going to be my final TFO for this stream here today. Yeah, I think YouTube's set to block a lot of things. I did hit the button. It just literally takes that long to load sometimes. Map requires a shuttle. Gotta love it. Sorry if I'm not the most attentive with everything today. I am just getting bombarded with messages left and right. Okay, let's split up here. I'm gonna go left. Let's get a few people going right. Yeah, the meta definitely is gonna be changing a little bit here, and there's a lot of things to figure out, like I was saying before. It's gonna take time to figure out how to fit the consoles on ships, and you know what ships are gonna be, you know, the new meta options. Just gonna take time. Okay, John, you got that one. I'm gonna move on to the next. Oh, I'm cloaked again. I gotta remember to uncloak. It's one of those days. You can do that. Usually when I go for the colony consoles, I pretty much just go all out. Like if I'm gonna run them, I'm just gonna run a full set of them.
This will not be forgotten.
I'm just not gonna cloak.
You are too damaged to continue this fight, but you have given us a chance to withdraw.
How many possible mods are there? There's like 30. The wiki page for it has everything listed. There's a lot of mods. It's going to be very expensive to reroll.
Given us a fighting chance. This will not be forgotten. State the nature of your name.
A little bit of lag. When you see them Z's and zags, like when you're flying, that's server lag. Yep, new deal sync. Absolutely. Now we get to wait. For this phase, we need to spread out. This is all like vertical, so someone take top lane, bottom, mid. 27 mods? Jeez. Yeah, it's crazy. Very large set of possible mods. There's a lot of time gates in some of these TFOs because they want you to be, you know, in the map for a certain amount of time to get your reward. So we are currently looking at one of those instances where even though we completed this first phase, you know, a couple minutes ago, for gameplay and for our enjoyment, we get to sit here and just wait, you know, a couple minutes until it decides that we can proceed to the next phase. This is peak quality content, and it's great. Alpha, thanks for stopping by. See you around. Riveting to watch, I know. This is, you know, STO. Fun content. That's why some of these TFOs, you know, get played so often. I don't have the pet console yet. I looked at it at the start of the stream, because other people have them, but John, that is an account-wide invite. Just know, just, you know, don't go on to like an elite run with a brand new character, obviously.
It's worse than I thought.
Okay, now we get to the briefing phase, and we get to wait another half minute to be able to proceed to the next phase. Those pet consoles look really good as far as, you know, as far as I've seen, so I think going for a bunch of them is going to be popular for carrier builds. It's just going to be very expensive. Overshooting quite a bit here. Oh, the Connie 3 doesn't have a hangar bay. I mean, it sucks when a promo ship sucks, but at the same time, it's nice because you don't have to necessarily buy it. Like, realistically, I probably should have just grabbed an inquiry for casual. Like, that probably would have been more beneficial for me, but, you know. It's nice to be able to mess around or have the do things on hand for content or whatever is needed. Apparently more spawned in back over here. The torp spread is misfiring because the servers suck. It's fun. Yep. servers are rough today. So many abilities just misfiring. My CSV misfired. My torp threads misfired a couple times. Just annoying.
The Tholian wedge is collapsing. Excellent. The vault is secure, but we are not. Sensors show Tholian reinforcements approaching at high warp. Prepare for battle. Defeat the Tholian flagship if you can. The Tholian flagship is defeated. Excellent work.
Job, everyone. Let's see, how many marks did that give us? 245, okay. And did I get one of the particles here? Let's see. Nothing. I got the battery one, but none of the I didn't get one of the things. It's rough. Okay, I see there's a few things in chat, so let me respond to this. Again, that was the last TFO for today. I've got other things I need to go take care of. See here. Let me see what I missed. Yeah, someone sold one for 1.9. Honestly, I should have just sold my Titan today. I shouldn't have popped it. I shouldn't have used it myself. I should have just sold it for 1.9 and then waited and tried to pick one up for like 1.5 or something. Doesn't even show the set bonuses on the tooltip, of course. Captain Wallace, how's it going? Yeah, beams are fun, but you have to understand when you're flying a beam build and when you're using things like beam overload, you're taking a damage hit basically to have that visual play style. Like beam overload to me is not really a DPS firing mode, it's more of an immersion firing mode. One of the reasons I just don't like it is because the way the content is designed just doesn't synchronize very well with that single target playstyle. It's why you don't see me running like exceed rated limits or reroute reserves to weapons or surgical strikes that often. It just the cannon scatter volley just matches the content of the game so well with how AoE and grouped up so many enemies are. But it's not for everyone, and I understand that. You can still do perfectly fine with beam overload or whatever, but the content will be a lot easier to go through if you go cannon scatter volley and learn how to fly a CSV build. Yeah, one bill isn't going to be enough for a ship. If I were to make a Klingon today that only flew bird of prey, which bird of prey would I go for? Oof. I'd probably go for the legendary one, I guess. The legendary one or the D4X, but neither of them are really that good. That's the issue with the bird of prey is that they've just never been that good. Yeah, the EPG console doesn't look like it's actually that good. Yeah, the science consoles aren't that good. Yeah, fire at will used to be really good. That's why they nerfed it, is because fire at will was like the thing to use a long time ago. But they need to bring fire at will back up to a point where, honestly, I think fire at will, it doesn't need to directly match CSV, but if it were, say, 10 to 15% behind CSV, I think that would make beams much more accessible for a lot of people. Yeah, I think the science consoles are going to need a lot of attention. Okay, that is going to be it for today again. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll be streaming again for sure on Saturday, and I'll probably be doing more elite TFOs and just trying to farm some of these components. Trouble is you just make single target builds obsolete even more. Yeah. I mean, they could design content where those single target builds, are more beneficial, but right now they just like to throw a bunch of smaller enemies at us rather than, just one large enemy at a time. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you guys around.